Voices from the Inside, Letters from Famous Prisoners by Denise No. That's an ebook that I've got up at Amazon that I self-published. And I really want to ask and encourage people to buy this ebook. Okay. And part of the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to read off some of what's in there. Okay. First, there's an introduction, and I talk about in the introduction why I did correspond with prison inmates. And the reason primarily was I usually wanted to ask them something. I had a question I wanted to put to them. Then sometimes we would go from there and we start talking about various subjects. Okay. And then in chapter 1 is about Charles Manson and company. And I corresponded with Charles Manson and with others who were linked to him, Robert Bobby Buselet, Lynette Squeaky Frome, and Charles Tex Watson were the other three who wrote to me from the group linked to him. The second chapter is about my correspondence with Carlton Michael Gary, the Columbus stocking strangler. He was executed for a series of rapes and murders. He was a young black man who attacked elderly white women. The chapter 3 is about Eric Robert Rudolph, and that was a kind of, it does stand out from a lot of the other cases because it is subtitled A Morally Motivated Murderer. You know, it doesn't excuse anything, but he was motivated morally, and that is different than most cases of murder. Chapter 4 is Serial Murder and the Entanglements of Adoption. And that is about the fact that adoptees are overrepresented in serial murderers. Now, don't use this to stigmatize adopted people by any means. The majority of adopted people are quite law-abiding. They're not dangerous, and they're certainly not murderers. But they are overrepresented in that particular area. Okay, and that led to chapter 5, some correspondence with David, son of Sam Berkowitz. Chapter 6, correspondence with Lawrence Pliers, Bittaker of the Toolbox Murders. And chapter 7, Moore's murder, Ian Brady, Britain's most hated man. Chapter 8, Jeremy Strohmeyer and the murder of Sharice Iverson. That was Jeremy Strohmeyer, was the 18-year-old who murdered a 7-year-old in a casino bathroom. Okay, and then we go on. Chapter 9 is called Abortion, Women's Freedom, and Child Abuse. Now, we were told, or the society in general was told, that if, you legalized abortion, child abuse would disappear. Is that what happened? Okay, because the next chapter is on Renee and Sean Neasley, and the subtitle is, Did Abortion Factor in a Toddler's Killing? Because of the fact that Sean Neasley was beaten to death the day after his mother had an abortion. Okay, chapter 9 is Betty Broderick, June Cleaver Gone Murderous. And chapter 10, Pam Smart, Maiden of Metal, Mastermind of Murder, and a question mark there. Chapter 11, Nanette Johnston Packard McNeil. Chapter 12, William Hetherington and the Peculiarities of Spousal Rape. And then chapter 13, Mulling It Over and Summing It Up. Okay, and in this ebook, I actually I actually put in there the letters or the postcards that I got from these prisoners, so you can actually see their work in here. And I think you could, if you read it, you can draw a lot of your own conclusions, as well as looking at my conclusions. And there were a lot of interesting things about it. Sometimes our conversations would start in one direction and then go off into another direction. And also I would try to talk to them in whatever area they were interested in. I know that, for example, Lynette Squeaky Frame is very, very interested in the environment.